Well, hello and welcome to another edition of 907 Sports. Jordan Rodenberger here. We got Tyler Lane also calling the plays in this one, as we hope you enjoyed your 4th of July Independence Day weekend. And Tyler, we haven't really had a traditional 4th of July barbecues, fireworks, all that in a few years because we're usually gone.
Yeah, I'm usually getting some exercise walking up to the base of Mount Marathon the last couple ones. Usually watching all the people enjoying themselves. I'm over there just sweating just a little bit, you know? So.
Yes, Seward, the place to be on Mount Marathon weekend, as of course that is the a lot of camping, people coming out, and we still do to get that fireworks action with the that display they do right on the port there the night before, right at midnight. So it's tough to try to stay up for those at midnight, but then also you got a big day ahead with the races. But always enjoy going down to Seward for Mount Marathon. Definitely a highlight for us in the sports department, but also running community in general.
That one boat specifically this year, I think, with all the American garb all over it and just lighting off the fireworks, the flares. I was like, I think I want to swim to that boat. Looks like they're having a good time. But obviously, 4th of July, a good portion of this, but Mount Marathon specifically is the big part of the weekend.
Yes, and that's what we were there for, although we did have some fun with the surrounding activities. And there we saw something we've seen a few other times before, and that's David Norris of Fairbanks taking the Mount Marathon title with ease once again. 6 for 6, this man. He's entered the race 6 times and has won it every single time. Literally unbeatable.
And I think it was crazy. Remember, I was standing at the base waiting just to get some results, waiting for him to come down. And I know he had talked about trying to break his 40 mark this year. Mm-hmm. And when I heard the halfway point about 36, I was like, aw. I'm not even thinking like, we already know he's going to win, but he's not going to break the record. It's like, oh, wow, that's just how good he's been. He can set his own mark and really do whatever he wants with it.
It's insane that a time of 42:30, which would have been a record for many, many years, is almost like, not disappointing, but you're almost like, that's a little bit behind his pace, which is insane. As you see him just totally in control as he made it down the mountain on that top portion with the snow, which we knew would be fun, kind of see how different runners approach that. And of course, he's just a master technician on any mountain, in any terrain. And there he is doing his signature high fives down the main street there once he realized, the record wasn't in place. But definitely always, great to see David Norris just witnessing greatness in person there.
Most definitely. I love that shot, specifically him coming down the snow there. I wonder what that view's like. Maybe one day we'll see, going to the top of that mountain and coming back down, but truly an incredible performance from him once again.
I was kind of trying to put a target to get to the top in record time, and then if I did that, I was going to push the downhill as hard as I could to try for that 40 minutes, and I didn't get to the top all that fast for my personal record time. So then I could kind of settle in and play it safe. I feel like every year I race, the more I learn about the tradition here and all the people that did it before us, and it's very cool just to be part of this big historic race.
And that race capping off the day as we kind of go back in time for that much anticipated women's race. I've seen 4 different winners in each of the last 4 years. And that top 5 to 10 kind of, you expect, the names that will be in it, but it always kind of shuffles and you kind of never know who's going to kind of be at their best that day specifically.
Yeah, we always thought going into this that, Klaire Rhodes had an opportunity, Christy Marvin and others. Yeah. But really, as soon as this race started, I saw Klaire just taking off. And I had this feeling she could pull this off. And she is coming back down that steep snow section.
Slide. There's different ways to approach that one, and that was hers, and it paid off for her there.
Most definitely, and you could just see, you don't see it just yet, but once she made that turn, I think looking back a couple times, realizing she had this one in the bag.
Yeah, and this is back-to-back for her now, and I think last year her first win definitely helped give her that confidence that, hey, I can do this, even toeing the line against the best mountain runners in the world, gave her that confidence that, hey, I can do this and prove herself there, as we hear some of her thoughts as she goes down the front street there.
Yeah, it played out well. I was surprised to be leading up the whole climb. I didn't really expect that, but I tried to just have as much of a gap as possible, knowing that especially our local downhill ripper ladies would be coming down after me, so I just tried not to look behind too much. When I first went up there in training a few weeks ago, I pretty much stand up there paralyzed with fear. I have to get over that and tell myself to just not think and just go. So that was my plan, to just sit, slide, do whatever I needed to do to make it as fast as possible.
Always an incredible time for sure. As we move into the junior side of things.
Yeah, they didn't have to quite do that. They go halfway up and out and back.
talking about a guy that we know a lot of from his high school accomplishments, Vebjorn Flagstad, 2 second-place finishes the last 2 years in the junior race, finally getting it done in his last year of eligibility.
Yeah, had to kind of wait out Kobe Marvin there as he aged out there, but congrats to Vebjorn on getting that one. And then another Anchorage runner, Callista Zuber, she wins her first junior Mount Marathon, as that one has been trading a lot. Tania Boonstra was second. Ren Sprangler, she's been in that top 3, top 5 year over year, as we have two new junior Mount Marathon champions.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting. This is just another race, like, getting the win is so special. I mean, it's such a big race. It's so special, super unique, so it's awesome to be able to win it. And after two years of 2 second places, I feel like it was about time, you know?
I'm like super happy about it. I've totally been in the crowds before and cheering everybody on, so it just makes me super happy to just be in it and see everybody cheering me on.
And although we're highlighting these winners there are hundreds of athletes who accomplished, like, look at this 3,000 foot mountain that they just ran up and down in a matter of, an hour or so. It's just really impressive. So shout out to everybody who was able to accomplish that. Maybe that's a bucket list one for us one day, but definitely super fun there.
And shout out to Seward as well, another big event, obviously, for not just the runners, but all the people that show up in town to see it, all the people that take to the waters and out and about. I mean, it's truly just an incredible event that brings in a lot of people, clearly.
Super fun, and it means so much to that community and to the running community itself as well. As we saw Luke Jager, who's an Olympic skier, he took third in the men's race, as he's competed in the juniors and has succeeded in that one as well. And just hearing about what this race, you think of him as an Olympic skier, but you can kind of hear in this sound like what this race means to him. That happens once a year while he trains year round to be an Olympic skier.
Yeah, I mean, if you grow up in Alaska, you know this race is everything. So, especially for me, it was kind of my first exposure to high level sport, and it's something I dreamed of doing well in pretty much my whole life. So, now I just appreciate how incredible the community and everyone that does it is, and it's just all the sweetest people come and do it, and I just feel really lucky to get to be a
A lot of great storylines in that one. Definitely a highlight for us.
And a race that brings out everybody. I mean, you see even some of the big people that aren't involved in the racing scene. I mean, I saw Lydia Jacoby out there once again.
Hometown hero.
So many different people that just come out and see this race, and it brings really the whole community and all of Alaska together as well.
Yeah, I mean, what was that? The 97th running, so almost a century of folks just saying, hey, let's run up this mountain and back down. It's pretty impressive.
I wonder just if you compiled every single person that has run this race in those 97 years, how many miles total that would be.
That's impressive, because it's funny because it's Mount Marathon, but it's really a 5K.
Right.
So it is the toughest 5K in the world. By, quote unquote, but
For sure,
I would put it up against any other 5K. Show me a tougher one, for sure. So I mean, but the running, scene will continue throughout the summer, Alyeska and the Cirque Series and such like that. So we'll be keeping an eye on a lot of these athletes as it continues.
And Cirque Series, again, keep an eye on that one, because Norris, he won that one last year as well. Does he continue that trend? Other racers as well that we might be seeing. Kendall Kramer, who was also in Mount Marathon this year.
Burbridge, she won that. Christy Marvin's healthy this year. She pushed through a lot of injury last year, so we'll see if she at Mega Kuma right there as well. So looking forward to seeing how that plays out. But I think that will about do it for this edition of 907 Sports. Looking forward to seeing what this week ahead brings us, so that we can recap it as we go. I know we got some Seahawks in town as well. We've been at the golf courses recently, so be sure to stay tuned and check out our next edition of 907 Sports. But we appreciate y'all tuning in.